take it away. Welcome.
All right. Thank you, Savannah. Good morning or good evening, everybody. Welcome again to our International Student Engagement Services and Support webinar. My name is Adrian Buntuyan. I work at GFE International. My role is Success Coordinator for International Students. Normally, we are in our office, but today, I think for the last 3 months, we've been working in our, for me, in the basement of our house. So I welcome you to my house, to my home. So today is a really exciting day because we get to meet some of you. And hopefully we'll be able to see you face-to-face soon when you come to Canada. First up, we would like to acknowledge that UFV is situated in the unceded territory of Stolo people. They're the first Indigenous people in Canada, more so in the Fraser Valley, and we're grateful for them for allowing us to work, play, and learn in this beautiful Fraser Valley. And you get to see this when you come to UFV. There you go. That's the slide about the Stolo people. So Savannah had already quickly mentioned our ways to engage today, but I'd like to review that. So as you already know that you are muted upon entry, if you wish to speak up, you can unmute your mic. The other way to engage with us, and Savannah mentioned that, is that you can also use the chat box to communicate with us. We might be using Mentimeter along the way. Just kind of be mindful of that, or we may not. So we will let you know once we kind of like go along with our presentation. But the three main goals for today is definitely we want to be able to connect with you, and you will be able to connect with us as UFV International staff. We also hope that you will become familiar with all the amazing programs, services, and support that we offer at UFV International, and you will know how to access us, especially now that you're still wherever you are from your country of origin. So today there's 4 of us, so I've introduced myself already. So I'll give the space to my colleagues who will be introducing themselves as well.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Gabor Martinez. I'm the coordinator of global engagement and contract training. Essentially, in a nutshell, that means I'm the person who organizes a lot of fun activities for you folks when you come to hang out with us in Canada. But if you're starting your studies in your home country for fall semester, don't worry. Later in this presentation, I'll be talking to you about how to still get involved with us, even though you're in your home countries.
Cool. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Peekman. I'm the International Student Relations Specialist Medical. So what that means, it's just a long fancy title for the fact that I help students navigate their medical insurance. And I'm also I'll be talking about medical insurance today, and I'll also talk to you as well about student accounts, which is essentially tuition and fees, because I work closely with my colleague doing student accounts as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My voice again. My name is Savannah. I'm the Global Engagement Assistant. And what basically that means is I support the rest of our engagement team in helping you get involved in campus with all of our events and activities that we do. I will be moderating this chat group that we have. So if you have any questions along the presentation, feel free to type it in the chat box and I will do my best to answer. And if not, then those questions will be saved for the end of the presentation. So don't be shy. There are no stupid questions. Anything you feel that you don't know, feel free to type it. Welcome again.
Thank you, Savannah. So here you go. There's 4 of us here today, and there's a lot of stuff at UFV International that you will be meeting once you come here, or once you start studying, you will be able to meet them as you ask questions, and like they're really friendly, and we love our team, and we're so proud to be able to serve students from all over the world. Okay, so we were hoping to also get to know you a little bit more. So if you're okay, if you can actually chat chat with us using the chat box, if you could introduce introduce yourself to us by telling us your name and your program of study that you're hoping to start in the fall. We would really appreciate that if you're okay with that. So I'll give you some time to do that. So type your name and then your program of study. And I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a while so that I'll be able to see the chat. Oh, hi, hello, Hanoi Chai from Korea. So glad that we have you today. Cool. And we got Uyiza from Nigeria. That is exciting. I agree, Sarah. It's midnight there. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. Cool. So the other questions that we would like to ask is that how are you feeling about starting your university life in the fall? How do you feel about that? So you could just pick like an emotion that describes about how you feel. You excited? Are you nervous? Are you feeling awesome? Thanks, Igisa. I hope I said that correctly. Exciting and a little bit nervous. Cool. Yeah. So there's that mixed feelings of being excited because you're starting a new adventure, starting university life, but also a little bit of nervousness because everything will be new. But again, as Sarah mentioned, that regardless of how you're going to be feeling about your a new adventure, we're going to be here to support you, to provide you opportunities to make new friends, to have fun, to learn, and to do so many other things. It's been so long since you left university. Totally understandable. Cool. So the other question that I have, and like our team can answer this too. It's just kind of a fun question. Before we go into some slides from the PowerPoint. Would you see yourself as a morning person or an evening person? So you choose like whether you're a morning person or an evening person. Sarah said 100% an evening person. Yeah, I agree with that, Sarah. I'm also an evening person. Sarah, Savannah is also an evening person. Hanoi is a morning person. Jessica said she's not an evening person. She's not a morning person. So she's a midday person. I don't know what the actual description, but I think Oyisa said she's not a morning person, so she's gonna be joining our club, Tara and Savannah. Yeah, that's just for fun, discovering something new about each other. So we'll go ahead and share some more of the amazing things that you can participate and access with UFV International. So I'll turn this over to Sarah to talk about some of the amazing programs that she is coordinating with us.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Do I get slides or am I?
You will, yeah. I'm just like you know, and I'm an evening person, so I'm a little bit slow.
So, I really admire morning people, so I'm really proud of our one person here is a morning person.
Is it there now?
I see it. I see it. Perfect. So for our lovely guests who are here with us today, I tend to have a very loud voice. So if I start to echo or if it starts to feel like really too loud in the background on your end, feel free to comment in the chat and say, please go a little quieter. I do not get insulted. I know I'm a loud person by nature, so don't worry about it. All right, so I'm now going to talk to you folks about the global engagement programs we have at UFV International. For you lovely folks, our programs are open to all students. So if you make some friends who are domestic students in your studies, please invite them to our programs. Our programs are for everyone. And then as soon as the next slide loads, I'll give you a heads up about other things that we do. I'll talk more about the lovely programs. There we go. So a little bit about myself. I did tell you what my job title is at UFV International. I do identify as a Mexican Canadian. My mother is Mexican and my father is from Canada. So I'm one of those classic people you'll meet in Canada of mixed identities. So it's always a good time here in Canada. I love to explore and learn about other people's cultures. So when I get to meet you in person or online, please share more about yourself and your background. I'm very interested to learn. I see we have Nigeria. I would love to learn more about your country and Korea. I only know some Korean words. I'll learn some other, like my goal is to learn as many languages as possible. So I only know 안녕하세요 and 감사합니다, but I would like to expand my knowledge because that's what I love to do. I love to eat sushi, and I'm a huge dog lover. My favorite thing to do is to go on Instagram and look at all the cute dog videos. That's a little bit about myself. So, because I told you I'm the crazy fun person, I'm going to have to move a little bit, which is totally fine. Who knows the Hokey Pokey? You can, put a thumbs up in the chat box, or you can say yes or no. Oh, they can't see me if I plan to do the dance. All right. But we can close the screen. And that's okay, Adrian. I'm going to now show you a classic dance that you may see friends doing in Canada, although something we tend to do when we were very young kids, not often enough when we're in university, but because I'm the crazy person in the department, you may often see me doing this no matter what. But if you don't know it, don't worry. I'm going to teach you without fancy music, just my crazy singing. And I'm not going to stand up because I don't have enough room. So it's very simple. So the Hokey Pokey is like this. You put your left hand in, and you're all welcome to do with me, even my wonderful team from International. I see you, Jessica, on screen. So 1, 2, 3. Just follow my instructions. You put your left hand in. You put your right hand out. You put your left hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the Hokey Pokey, and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Awesome. Comment if you could see me in the video. I don't mind doing it one more time so you can all see my face. But Jessica's doing it with me too, so I know she's on screen. All good. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Ready, Jessica? Thank you for being my comrade today. You put your left hand in, You put your right hand out, you put your left hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. When we meet each other in real life, I'll be doing a lot more fun dances with you folks, especially at your orientation. So this is just a little teaser to expect. Adrian, now we can go back to the slides. I just wanted to do a quick warm-up with our friends here. Awesome. So as you can tell by now, I'm definitely the weird one, the crazy one, and I hope you're all okay with that because that's just how it's going to be for the rest of your time with us at UFV. So I'm now going to talk to you about the Global Lounge Hub. So because of COVID-19, a lot of our programs, which we usually would held in our space called the Global Lounge, which is in our UFV International office, has now had to migrate into an online platform, which is now the Global Lounge Hub. We decided to put it in Blackboard. So you may not have heard of it yet before. That's okay. Blackboard is where all your online classes are going to be held. So don't worry. The Global Lounge Hub, so you can have fun online and you can study. Studying is fun too, so don't worry about it. But we'll all see each other online in a fun capacity as well. So I'll talk to you about the programs that we currently have online. Next slide, please. So part of being part of the community for the Global Lounge Hub, we just have some 3 guidelines for everyone. Is rule number 1, to be kind and courteous. Rule number 2, no hate or bullying. And rule number 3, to respect everyone's privacy. These are just some guidelines we have because we want to make sure everybody who comes into the hub is feeling safe and respected. And we want to make it a nice, comfortable space for everyone, even if it's online. So please follow these guidelines when you join our group. But now we'll talk about the programs. We have games nights. Today, we'll be hosting one of our first games night events. So it's an opportunity to play games with other students, whether they're in Abbotsford or other parts of Canada, India, Vietnam, Korea, Nigeria. We can all come together and play some fun games online. So look forward to that. We're going to do a lot of fun trivia Jackbox games. They're really fun. Right, Savannah? Our second program is Language Exchange. Language Exchange is a program where you can exchange and share knowledge of your own language. For example, I'm currently teaching Français. That's right, French, to anybody who wants to learn. Now, you don't have to be an expert because I would argue my French teachers back in the day did not like my grammar skills. But you know what? I'm still going to teach what knowledge I still remember, and you're all welcome to do the same. So if you know another language and you want to share it with another student, maybe another staff member who joins our program for fun, please do. So if you want to teach Korean, I know Savannah's going to eventually potentially teach Polish, you're all welcome to join the program. That's language exchange. And of course, we have Fika time. Fika is a word from Sweden. So it's Swedish. It's a Swedish concept where everybody gathers 2 or 3, 4 times a day, depending how much you like to fika, and you grab a nice drink. Today I have water, or a nice sweet, whether it's a pastry or chocolate. I got my little chocolate here. And so there's no agenda to this program. We just hang out every Monday and Friday, 11 to 12 EST our time. And we just get an opportunity to get to know each other. So if you want to make more friends, I know it's really, really difficult to connect with new students like yourselves when you're in your own home countries, especially if you're not coming to Canada yet. This is a great opportunity to meet other students. So I invite you to come and hang out with myself. Savannah will occasionally be there as well. And other students who will be there, like some of our volunteers. So Fika is a great program. All right. So I have another challenge. And I'm just going to quickly turn off my camera to grab my pen. Be right back. first I'm going to explain the challenge to you folks. Step 1, this is a challenge for everyone today with us. I want you to grab a pen. It can be a Sharpie like this one, or a really odd-shaped pen like this one. These are my art supplies. Jessica's already in motion. I love it. Then you're going to place the said pen on the top of your upper lip, just like so. Oh, yeah, my team's already got it. I love it. And then step 3 is you want to let that pen roll down, and you're going to try and catch it with your mouth. Are you ready? Okay. So I see my team's already doing it. So whichever pen is close by, I'll give you a couple, like 30 seconds to go find a pen. Thank you for giving me time to find some pens. You want to do this? Oh, one's a harder one. And up. There we go. Drop and catch. Don't worry, I sanitize those things first. This one's a bit more difficult. So, Adrian, if you don't mind canceling the screen once again, I'm going to be that person. So we can see our friends doing the challenge with us. So you're welcome to turn your videos on. If you can't, I can help put your video on. But if you're comfortable, we'll give you like 15 seconds to try this challenge with us. This one's a harder one because it's a flat pen. Oh, I can't even do this one. There we go. There's Jessica. Oh, I totally cheated. I was holding on to that pen. There we go. Let it go. Oh. If it's a flat shape, it's so much more difficult. That's why I like the round. So if you challenge your friends, give them the flat shape pens and keep the round pens for yourself. How did everybody do with that challenge? Give us a comment. Vanna said, sweet job. Oh, you cut your pen. Woo, I love it. Oh, you taught that to kids. That's great. All right, Adrian, I'm ready for my slides again. Looks like everybody has completed the challenge successfully. Proud of you folks. Thank you so much. Awesome. So even though you haven't started your semester yet, you are all welcome to join the Global Lounge Hub. I can put a direct link in the chat box for you folks today. As long as you have a student number, you're able to join the Global Lounge Hub and join on the fun before the semester even starts for you folks. So looking forward to hanging out with y'all. Please join the hub if you'd like. And I think I have one more slide. So as you may have guessed, I am also the person who does orientation with the help of my team who is here with us today. So your orientation is going to be starting, looks like, mid-August, so keep tuned for that. And there will be, of course, a fun live event where I will do more fun challenges with you folks, so helping you folks connect with the UFV community, help you discover services available to you, like our team, the Student Life team. There's so many services for you folks at UFV. And to help you folks build confidence using our UFV online education systems like Blackboard, which is also known as My Class. So if you're feeling nervous, which is totally normal, don't worry, we will help support you along the way, so you'll be on your way to success. Thank you, Savannah, for posting the link.
Thank you, Sarah. Can we give a round of applause to Sarah? Woo! Yeah, so raise your hand. So if this is in person, raise your hand if you're so excited to meet Sarah in person. Or type on the chat.
It's okay, no pressure. I know I'm a level
No
3.
pressure. That's just giving me time to transition to my slide. As you guys kind of noticed already, this is really a crazy team. I don't take credit to being a crazy person, but the energy in this team is really contagious. So when I started joining this team, I feel like, okay, I feel like the energy is really good. So every time I join in, my energy is also going up. So yeah, so I think that's going to happen to you too. Once you come and connect with us, whether face to face or digital, you're going to find yourself living really happy and energized. Okay, so much more about that. I've mentioned that my role at UFV International, it's a really fancy title. It's called Coordinator International Student Success. But what that really means is that I'm here to support you, to be a friend to you, to connect you to resources available in UFE and outside UFE. So some of the things that I usually do with students, I help students with settlement information. What is that? Is if you are wanting to understand what your tenancy is when you're renting like a place and you're kind of confused, like I don't know if this is correct or not, I can support you with that. I can connect you to an agency that can help you better understand your rights and your responsibility as a tenant. So it could be about like you're working here and then you're thinking, should I file my tax or not? So those are the things that I usually help students. Or if you haven't applied your SIN number yet, or you don't know what that is, I can give you information with that. So pretty much with new students, these are like basic information that you will need to help you feel like you're settled in your new home. Second is like, as you're starting your university life, of course, there's going to be a lot of transitions happening for you, right? So whether that would be academic transition or transitioning to like a new environment or to a new culture or like to like just being away from your home, right? So we help students deal with transitions, whether adjusting to managing your time or like managing your stress or just simply making new connections. I also, like I mentioned, like I help students connect to resources in the campus, whether would that be like academic, like support. Like we have like amazing like tutors that help students, providing free tutorials, whether that's about like participating in like leadership opportunity in the campus, or whether that's like accessing volunteering at UFE or outside UFE. There's just so many resources available for students. And then the other thing is, of course, like when you come to Canada, you would see that it's really a diverse, multicultural country. And so what we hope to do is like provide you a space that you can connect interculturally with other students. And that's why most of our programming at UF International is open both for international and domestic students. To be specific, these are the things that I do with students. I coordinate the STEP Cafe. We run a STEP Cafe every Wednesday together with Jessica, with one of our academic advisors for international students, and of course our immigration consultant. So it's a one-stop shop for students to ask questions about immigration, study permit, work permit, academic advising, resources support available in the campus, outside the campus, and we usually give updates. So Wednesdays from 11 to 12 p.m. And then the other one is I'll leave the middle part yet. So the other one is Friends Without Borders. This has been a long-running program. I can't remember, maybe 8 years already or more. So what is this? This is an intercultural peer mentorship program where students from UFE, both international and domestic students, would gather and share their culture, celebrate their culture, learn from each other, and support one another. And we run our program on Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. A lot of our student leaders, like the GEV, like the volunteers that welcome you during the orientation, or like a lot of other like students that you would meet, most likely they have joined Friends Without Borders, whether as a friend or a mentor. So like I encourage you to check us out and see if it's a good fit for you. But I really enjoy this program. I forgot to mention, I just started working at UFE in August, and like this has been one of my favorite programs. And of course, one of my role is to provide one-on-one support with students, with international students. And what is that? Is like it could range from like you just want to hang out, or you just want to express your maybe your excitement or frustration about university life, or like about UFE or about anything. And I'm here to listen and to try my best to connect you to the resources that would help best support you in your journey at UFV. So some examples, I mentioned this already. I'll go back to that later. So some examples like, tendency, like I have students sometimes they're living with their roommates and they feel like they're frustrated about that and they want to move out, but they don't know the steps. So like I'll just sit down with them and do some goal settings and identify steps to do. Or some students, they just really felt like they really miss their home country so much and they felt like they don't know what to do. And so we talked about that and just kind of like figure out the next steps. And sometimes, even myself, I get stuck. And like what I need is like I just need somebody to maybe help me kind of like problem solve and identify the next steps, and afterwards I'm good. I can move forward. So that's pretty much my role, is to be a stepping stone for students so that they can be who they are and like use their strength to further pursue whatever their dreams are. So I'm hoping to really meet you face to face or even digital online. I still do one-on-one support. I'll share my email address if you want to hang out and share some of your maybe expectations and your fears. I'm happy to be able to do that. So quickly, like Step Cafe, I talk about this from 11 to 12. I will also provide the link on the chat box if you are interested. We have one more session this semester. And then as well as with the Friends Without Borders. Cool. So that's it for me. If you have questions, you can type them on the chat box or you can ask them freely maybe at the end of Jessica's presentation.
Okay. Good morning or good evening again. Again, my name's Jessica Peekman, so I'm going to be talking about medical insurance and student account information. We can just go to the next slide, Adrian, please. Okay, perfect. So it sounds like the two students joining us today, you are both in your home country right now and likely starting your studies from your home country because of the travel restrictions. So keeping that in mind, obviously you're not going to need Canadian medical insurance while you're in your home country. But once you do eventually come to Canada, you will need medical insurance. And so I'm going to talk about those medical insurance plans. So the first one we have here is called GuardMe International Insurance. And this is a temporary medical insurance for approximately the first 3 months after you arrive in Canada. And it's simply a temporary plan meant to cover you for any medical emergencies. Until you're eligible for a provincial health care plan called MSP or Medical Services Plan. So if we can go to the next slide, Adrian, please. So MSP or Medical Service Plan is the provincial health care plan that any BC resident is required to be enrolled on. So that provides basic health care coverage if you need to see a doctor, if you need to go to the hospital for an emergency, those sorts of basic health care needs. So we do require that students apply for this plan on their own, and we do provide resources at orientation on how you can apply for this medical plan. Next slide, please. And there is one other health insurance plan, and it's called the Student Union Society Health and Dental Plan. So this is a plan you'll be automatically enrolled in, and it provides extended health and dental coverage for things that MSP does not cover. So, for example, MSP does not cover dental work, eye exams, prescription medication. So this plan will cover a portion of those expenses. So that's why this plan is also really great to have alongside your MSP plan. Next slide, please. Okay, so moving on to student accounts. So when I say student accounts, I mean tuition and fees and how they show up in your student account. You'll be learning more about your My UFV account because Sarah's so great at making sure you know how to use your My UFV account and your Blackboard at orientation. But in your My UFV account, you will be able to see a breakdown of all your tuition and fee charges for every semester. So my role, as well as the role of my colleague Leah Carr, is to help you understand your tuition and fees and how they're appearing in your My UFV account. So first, I'm going to just talk about how the tuition and fees work. So the tuition and fees are based on a 12 credit minimum structure. So that means no matter how many classes you enroll in, you're charged for 12 credits, which is usually equivalent to 4 classes. For your first semester, the advisors and our team register you in the classes you need, but after your first semester, you're required to register in your own classes, which you will be provided some navigation on how to do that. And so, like I mentioned, it's a 12 credit minimum structure, and then any courses you register into above 12 credits is on a per credit basis. So you'll be charged per credit after that. And another thing I wanted to mention that a lot of new students get confused about is the amount you're asked to pay in your conditional admission letter versus the amount you're actually charged when everything's put on your account at the end of the semester. So the students are asked to pay a deposit, and in your conditional admissions letter, it breaks down what you're being charged for, right? And then the semester comes around and all those charges are put on your account. And often the deposit and the charges are 2 different numbers, and then students are confused because they think that the deposit they paid should be the amount that they pay. But it actually varies on different factors. And so that's me and Leah, my colleague who I mentioned who handles student accounts as well. We can help you to understand the difference between the deposit you paid and the actual charges that are on your account. And that brings me to my third point, which is helping you to break down what's on your account and understand every single charge, so you're not feeling like you've been overcharged or undercharged or there's a mistake on your account. Okay, so moving on.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm sorry I flipped the slide so soon.
That's okay. That's okay. I was almost done anyways.
Cool. So now we're gonna go into kind of showing you how to access the program support and services that we have mentioned. So I think Savannah had put the global engagement hub, the global launch hub link into the chat box. If you are interested to check it out, you can use that link to register, and Sarah or Savannah would give you more information how to participate. If you are interested to check out the Friends Without Borders, I do have a session today from 10 to 11. But I know if you are there in Korea, it's midnight. You mentioned you might want to sleep already, right? So, but next day, if you're interested, this is the link to Savannah. If you don't mind to put the link as well, and then there's a link for Step Cafe for student services virtual drop-in. Jessica had mentioned that this is going to be starting soon, right, Jessica? That they're going to be able to book an appointment with you or with Leah to have more understanding about their accounts and maybe medical stuff.
Yes, exactly. So we don't offer virtual drop-ins yet, but it's coming within the next few weeks. So you can go to the link and you can sign up for a time, and then you can meet about medical insurance, tuition and fees, as well as registration with some of our other colleagues. Right.
And then again, I've mentioned that if you want to connect with each of us, this is the current team that is doing this presentation, and I've mentioned there's probably 20 plus staff at UFV International. So you can send us an email. It's here. If you want to connect separately, individually, or if you have questions, feel free to do that. I'm also going to see if there are questions from both of our participants today. So I'm just going to stop sharing so I could see the chat box. Do you guys have any questions? So Oyisa said, no, we're clear. There's no questions. So then we have a question for you. So we still have like few more minutes. Thank you, Hanoi. It was great too. Like you guys are really great at engaging with us, recognizing that the time difference, sometimes it's challenging. All right, so our question is, we would like to know, so you mentioned here it was great. We would like to know, like, what was helpful for you today in our time together? I'll give you some time to type. No pressure though. So we just want to kind of like know if you're okay to share what was helpful for you. We're gonna be hosting another one next week, and we would like to get some feedback from you guys, being the first two participants in our presentation. Yeah, maybe Jessica can sing us a song while we wait a little bit. She's nodding, no.
You don't want to hear that. That wouldn't be good.
No, so maybe we can share, while we were waiting for them, if they're typing, what do you like about the most with in Canada? Favorite thing about Canada?
A good question. I think for me, I just like the natural beauty of specifically British Columbia. And there's just so much to do outside here. That's what I love most about it.
That's really, really true. There's so many, like, there's lakes, there's like nice like nature, hiking, and so many things. How about you, Sarah and Savannah? What's your favorite thing of being here in BC?
I think the same as Jessica was saying, everybody's into the nature and hikes. I think we have one of the best backyards in the world. So anything to get outdoors in the trees and the greenery. And we do live in a temperate rainforest, so we get all the seasons throughout the year. So, you can go be laying on the beach and still see snow on the mountains. So it's a unique place to live. And I think that's what I appreciate the most. We also have some comments in the chat. So I see Oisa says, you guys were extremely friendly and relatable. And Hanui says, I'm glad I surely saw you guys.
Well, thank you so much for that comment. We were so happy to be able to host this with you guys. And I'm looking forward to meet both of you, whether digital or in person. Sarah, your favorite thing?
Oh, okay. Well, actually, my favorite thing is the fact that Canada is a unique country, one of the unique countries all over the world where we have so many people coming from all over to live here in Canada. And because I'm a culture nerd, I love making friends with people from different cultures. I love trying different foods. So you can try food from India here easily. You get Japanese food, Korean food. I love bulgogi. I just love trying different things from different cultures, and that's one of the unique about Canada is that you have the unique opportunity to engage with people from all over the world, which is why I love my job. So, that's why I love Canada. I think it's very interesting that way, and I've been in other countries where you don't really see a lot of diversity. But I've also seen countries that do have that diversity as well. So I know Canada's not unique in that aspect. There are other countries that have a lot of immigration as well, and I think it's really cool to see.
Thank you, Sarah.
And if you folks have any questions, please, like, it's okay if you don't have some now, but maybe later, send us an email, or you can connect with us on Facebook and Instagram, right, Adrian?
Of course, yeah. Facebook. I do have an Instagram account now. I just haven't uploaded. I know. Right. So, yeah. So I can't agree more. Like, Canada is it's a nice place to live, and to see. There's a lot of nature to explore. And also there's, like, if you want to try different kinds of food, as Sarah mentioned, like, you don't have to travel outside the world to be able to have a taste of flavors from all over the world. Do you guys have specific questions right now? Oh, so Isa, you got a new follower now. Cool. Do you have my Instagram, Savannah? I haven't been sharing them. Okay, Hanoi already followed UFV's Instagram. That's awesome.
Some followers. Just get new followers, Adrian.
So you're probably familiar with Savannah and Sarah because they're the one who usually post things on Instagram. Yeah, I'll type my email.
I typed it already somewhere up there.
Oh, okay.
Well, you could type it again.
Cool. So so I guess like one thing that I was gonna just like ask everybody to share, maybe like what's your favorite thing at UFV, just before we close our session today, just to keep the excitement going up. Like I know that all of you guys had studied at UFV, are studying at UFV. So what it is that like that you want them to know about UFV?
My favorite thing about UFV, as I'm still a student there, going on like year 6, I think. It's been a while. My favorite thing is just like the open space and the friendly atmosphere. Like anywhere that you're going, between classes, you always passing people who are saying hi, who are saying how are you, and you get this real sense of community once you join UFV and spend some time there, and seeing people at events and things like that. Just a fun journey and adventure as you complete your studies.
Thank you, Savannah.
I guess for myself, one of my favorite things about UFV is the opportunities UFV provides students. I was surprised because I grew up here locally in the Fraser Valley. Compared to bigger universities, like UFV is a good university. I love UFV with all my heart. But I had like friends who were going to UBC and SFU, and they're all telling me I have to fight so hard to get this internship to like work directly with this professor. I'm like, really? I just walked up to my professor and now I'm doing a research study with them. And so it just blew my mind at how many opportunities there were for UFV students compared to what my friends were going through with other universities. Not saying that UBC isn't good or SFU, they're still great in their respect, but I was really fortunate to gain so much research experience, and that was the kind of experience I was looking for. So UFV is fantastic for catering to what you want to do. So if you want to do a major in anthropology and sociology and a minor in visual arts and Latin American studies, apparently I was allowed to do that. And most of my friends were saying that would never have flown in their university. So you get to build your path. I think that is an amazing thing that UFV is able to offer there. And, like Savannah said, we have cool events to look forward to.
Thanks, Sarah. And Jessica?
So Sarah kind of touched on my favorite thing about UFV as well. So I completed my degree, my Bachelor of Arts last year, actually. And what I really, really love and appreciate about UFV is that I was able to build relationships with my instructors and professors, and I can still reach out to them this day to use them as like a reference for something because I was able to develop such close relationships with them. And that's not something you get at a lot of bigger universities. So I really, really appreciate that. I felt like that really helped my learning experience because I could work one-on-one with an instructor to work on assignments, to understand something that I was having issues with. It was really helpful for my learning. And then also the bond that I developed with the students who were doing the same program I was really special as well. And I was able to, as I got into my like third and fourth year, you're always with the same students, depending on the program you're in. And I really, really appreciated that. So just overall, I feel like UFE provides the same quality education you get at other bigger institutions, but you get to be in a smaller class setting and get to know your peers and your instructors better. So, and it does provide lots and lots of opportunities as well. So yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you, Jessica. And I hope all the stories adds up to the excitement of your new adventure university life in the fall. Quickly, if I could ask Hanoi, and I don't know how to properly pronounce Oyisa. Is that correct? Oyisa. What do you guys are looking forward? Just curious, like what are you looking forward for? And I said everything that you guys just mentioned. Learning new things and meeting new people. That's awesome. Again, as I've repeated over and over again, we can't wait to see you, connect with you, digital or face-to-face. Our role here is to provide you the services that you need, support you as you pursue your goals as you study at UFE. It's a very friendly, welcoming space. We want to build community. So at any point, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to be able to support you in this transition. Last words from you guys before we close our webinar. Any last comments?
Yes, thank you so much for joining and being engaged and typing in the chat box. And I'm also looking forward to meeting you too eventually when you're able to come to Canada.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Don't forget to send us a DM so we can hear from you and stay connected before you start your studies. Just because this session is over doesn't mean we can't talk again. And I look forward to welcoming you to UFV in the fall. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope you guys will have a good sleep. And see you soon. Bye-bye.